I don't want you to wait to get the relief that you are looking for. So I want to give you a little something right now. It probably would be a good idea if you grabbed a pen and a paper. So I'm going to ask you these 10 questions. Because what happens is why we end up getting stuck and going, oh my God, I think my brain is fighting me, right? Like, I think she might be onto something here. I think there is some subconscious sabotage happening because I want one thing, like I want to stick to the diet. I want to lose the weight. I want to feel better. I want to eat healthy. And I can have all of this like clarity and motivation and determination. And like, I'm going to do it. I can start every morning, certainly every Monday, but I can start almost every morning and like, okay, this is the day that I'm going to make it through the entire day and not be snacking and not eating weird things and not overeating and not having dessert. Like, gosh darn it. Like, can I even make it past a few days? And then oftentimes it takes, whatever, 3 to 5 days. Sometimes it's that day. And so every day is this like roller coaster. So whatever your experience is, however long it is, to like back and like kind of end up going like this. We go, wait, there's something going on here. There's some kind of habit. There's some kind of thinking. There's some kind of struggle. There's some kind of fight where like, sometimes I really want to do it. And other times I'm like, I don't care. Right? Like, I don't care. Leave me alone. I'm going to eat what I want, or I'll start tomorrow, or it's too hard, or I'm tired, or the kids are bothering me, or I'm hungry, or, I walk in and they're all eating pizza, or like whatever the excuse is. And then we end up going off, and then we go, okay, gather up my motivation, gather up my determination. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to hire this person. I'm going to do this diet. And it's just this like round and round roller coaster. And so that's what happens. It ends up feeling like there's a split, right? There's like the good me and the bad me. There's like the little angel and the little devil. And it's like, how do we get these two to work together? And even just saying that might have been the one phrase that you needed to really open up the doorways of possibility and opportunity for you, that it's not about shunning or shaming the quote devil part of us, or the part of us that just wants to party and not care, right? It's not about that. We think that it is, right? We want to like blame and shame and control and like diet and like, I just got to get control. I just got to get motivated. I just got to have somebody, be accountable for me. Right? Like, I just need that kind of help, but that actually isn't the key. Or sometimes we think, oh, I got to figure out why. Right. I got to go to therapy. I got to, figure out like why and like heal this like trauma of the past. That might be helpful. I'm not saying don't do that. That might be wonderfully helpful for you. But that also is not as powerful as if we actually begin to understand that this part is there for a reason, that it's got a positive underlying intention, that if we are able to access that, understand that, and meet that positive underlying intention in a different and more helpful and supportive way, so that both sides can begin to come together and work for us. Because think about how powerful that part is. That part that's like, I don't care, whatever, I'm going to eat whatever I want. We'll start again on Monday. Like, who cares? How powerful is that part? So powerful. So if we can really get that energy, that vitality, that determination, that like all or nothing kind of thinking on our side, to where we're both working together and realize that it's always been on our side, boom, that's when the transformation happens and it becomes easy and we're no longer fighting ourselves. Now we're working together. Now we're using all of our parts and all of our systems and all of our knowledge and our wisdom and our experience to actually benefit us, to actually have a solid foundation underneath us where we're not feeling like we're in quicksand anymore. It is amazing. And it's just little tiny tweaks. Okay, so now if you feel inspired, where you're like, oh my God, okay, I don't know how to do it, Rose, but like, it makes sense that is going to be what I need, because I've tried to fight it. I've tried to argue with it. I've tried to shun it. I've tried to shame it. I've tried to diet it away. I've tried to make promises. I've tried to run it off. I've tried to go to the gym it off, like all of those things. grab a pen and paper. You're going to want to do this. This is so loving and so kind. And I'm just going to say right out loud that the why, a lot of people think that, because you guys know that I'm a hypnotherapist, obviously it says it like all over the place. Just to be really clear, the way that I was taught was not like, let me control somebody else or like even get you into hypnosis. The whole point of hypnosis, the way that I was taught, was that it's a method to help people get out of the hypnosis that they're already in. And Lord knows, if you keep doing something that you don't want to be doing anymore, or you can't get yourself to stay motivated to do something that you want to do, that is a form of hypnosis, right? That is a form of the kind of hypnosis that we don't want. We want to have the energy and the motivation and the clarity and the consistency to actually achieve the things that we want to achieve with less effort and more fun. So grab a piece of paper, right? And a pen. You're going to want to answer these questions. And again, we're not going to dive into the whys. The only why that's important is, why do you want to achieve the thing that you want to achieve? Not why are you frustrated and stuck? Because we don't need to understand the problem more. We need to understand the solution. We need to really be focused and motivated and moving forward, and what needs to happen for us to actually achieve and experience the type of peace of mind and freedom that we are actually looking for. All right, so you already have your pen and paper. I know that you do. Okay, there's 10 questions. So question number 1 is, what do you want? Now, if you have the tendency to go into start justifying why you want all these things and why it's all frustrating and all the things that you don't want, cool as a frame of reference. But this is your opportunity to practice being very clear on what it is that you actually want, understanding that the subconscious mind does not understand the negative. Right? It's kind of like saying, I know that you've heard this before, but we really need to understand this here to understand why we keep ourselves in this cycle over and over again. It's just the way that the brain works. If I'm going to tell you right now that I really just don't want to think of an orange door, I just don't want to think of an orange door. Orange doors are so ugly. Don't you know, every time I see an orange door, I have cravings. Okay, well, if what you want is to not think of the orange door, you got to be clear on what it is that you do want to be thinking. So if you're not thinking of the orange door, what are you thinking of? Right? We have got to get out of our mind, because you cannot say to yourself anything but the orange door. You will continue to get the orange door over and over again, because the mind doesn't understand the not. It's all about images, feelings, and emotions. And the more that we focus on the thing that we don't want, we're not going to get it. So what do you want? And I know it can be really hard, right? Because it's like, I can't even imagine, Rose, I've struggled with my weight for 30 years, which is what I did, right? It's like, I can't even imagine what I want. I just want to be free. I just want to not think about it anymore. I just want to be thin, but not too thin. But like, so you can see how our brain ends up keeping us stuck so often. So just begin to play with it. Keep it light, keep it simple. What is it that you actually want? And say it in the positive, like literally, what is it that you want? Okay, question number 2. When would you like to have these changes? Number 3, how often would you need to display these changes that you want to make to be convinced that it's permanent, that you've actually made the change? Number 4, is there any reason that you shouldn't make this change? You got to sit with that one for a minute, because on the surface, it can be like, no, of course, no, there's a million reasons why I should do it. But there is always, if you're fighting yourself, there is always something that is unseen. It's unheard, it's unacknowledged. There's some reason that you're holding on to whatever it is that you're holding on to. So just take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, is there any reason that I shouldn't make this change? Question 5, what stops you from making this change on your own? Number 6, Have you ever made a similar change? Now, this is a cool one because it really allows us to understand and realize that we have been successful. You have been successful in many areas of your life, right? There's a lot of things that you've done right. There's a lot of challenges that you've overcome. There's a lot of things that you changed already. So really allowing ourselves that opportunity to have a little bit of that sense of self-esteem that comes up when we realize that we can do this. So have you ever made a similar change? Number 7, what are the positive benefits of making this change? Number 8, is there any part of you that doesn't want to change? For those of us who have struggled with our weight, it's like we don't want to be the odd man out. We don't want people to look at us. We don't want to be the one that, has to say no. Number 9, is there any place that you don't want the change? This is an interesting one for us as well. Sometimes it's like, well, holidays, birthday parties, things like that. I don't want to think about it. Right? So again, being very clear with ourselves. What is the holdup? And number 10 is, what will need to happen for you to make the change? Okay, so just as a reminder, right? All of these questions are the what, the where, the how, the when, the with whom, because it is essential for success. I reiterate here, it is essential that the word why be taken out of the conversation for now. That might be appropriate for another time, but not for this specific process, right? We're not concerned about the why. We want to know about how, when, with whom, how often. Really important. Okay, so these answers, you can feel free to schedule a consultation with me, and I'm happy to go over these, the answer to these questions with you. So excited. I am so excited to bring to you different ways in which we can just make little tweaks to rewire the way that we are thinking to bring an incredible amount of abundance of health and vitality and ease to your weight loss journey, especially if it's been a really long time of frustration. We don't need to struggle anymore. I'm honored to support you. I love you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.